When the explosion hit, the world turned into fire, sand, and silence. Lieutenant Kara Miles couldn't feel her legs. Smoke poured through the shattered convoy as the sky turned black above her. Her radio crackled, screams, static chaos, and then nothing. She tried to move, but pain ripped through her body like lightning. Both legs broken, and the enemy was closing in. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening. The mission had been simple. Escort a humanitarian convoy through a narrow Afghan valley, hostile but routine. Kara had led dozens before. But this time, something felt off. The road to quiet, the hills to still. She'd sensed it, that eerie calm before violence, and she was right. The IED went off beneath the lead vehicle, flipping it into the air. The blast wave slammed her Humvee sideways, crushing her legs under twisted metal. She remembered the sound not of the explosion but of her own breath leaving her body. When she woke, the convoy was gone. Fire burned in the distance. She was alone. Kara had been through pain before. She'd been shot, starved, frozen, and broken in SEAL training. But this was different. The pain in her legs was white-hot, alive. She knew what it meant. Mobility gone, options gone, but surrender. That word didn't exist in her language. She tore a strip from her uniform, tied her legs tight, and started to crawl, inch by inch, over shattered glass and burning sand. Every movement was agony. Every breath was fire. But she remembered what her instructor once told her. When your body quits, your soul keeps going. That's the crawl. So she crawled. Hours passed. The desert was merciless, blistering heat by day, freezing by night. She dragged herself through thorn bushes and stone, leaving a trail of blood behind her. She could hear voices, enemy scouts searching the wreckage. She pressed her body flat against the dirt, praying they wouldn't find her. One of them kicked debris nearby, another laughed. Then they moved on. She exhaled slowly, tears cutting through the dust on her cheeks. She thought she'd never see her team again. She was wrong. At the forward operating base miles away, Commander Blake and his unit were losing hope. Contact with Kara's convoy had been severed for 8 hours. The odds were grim. Most commanders would have written her off as Kea, but not Blake. He knew Kara. He'd trained with her. He'd seen her drag 3 men out of a burning building during a training fire. "She's alive," he said quietly. "She's too damn stubborn not to be." They launched a recovery mission before dawn. No backup, no guarantees, just faith. Meanwhile, Kara's crawl turned desperate. Her hands were raw, her throat dry as dust. She reached a shallow ravine, half collapsed, and pulled out her sidearm. She had 2 rounds left, not to fight but in case capture came. The thought chilled her, but she'd made peace with it. Better to die as a soldier than as a trophy. But as the sun began to rise again, she saw movement and glints of metal on the horizon. At first, she thought it was the enemy. Then she heard it, a faint sound she'd know anywhere. It's a short, sharp whistle. Seal coat, 3 tones. She weakly raised her arm and fired 1 shot into the air. Silence. Then a voice, deep and urgent, shouted, "We've got her." The rescue team rushed in, weapons drawn, scanning for threats. Blake dropped to his knees beside her, eyes wide with shock. Her legs were mangled, skin pale, but her grip was still strong as she grabbed his sleeve. "It took you long enough," she rasped, trying to smile. He laughed, the kind of laugh that sounds like a sob. "You crawled all the way out here?" She nodded weakly. "Shh. You always said I don't quit." The medics worked fast, stabilizing her, lifting her onto the stretcher. As they carried her toward the helicopter, the rest of the team fell silent. The sight of her, broken, covered in dust, but alive, was something they'd never forget. It wasn't her strength that moved them. It was her refusal to stop. Months later, after endless surgeries and rehab, Kara stood again, not perfectly, not easily, but on her own 2 feet. The doctors called it a miracle. She called it muscle memory. When she was asked how she'd survived, she said something that silenced the entire auditorium. "They broke my legs, not my will. SEALs don't walk toward victory. We crawl if we have to." Her story spread across every base, every training camp. New recruits whispered her name like legend. Some said she was superhuman. She always corrected them. No, she'd smile softly. I'm human. That's the point. That night, she returned to the same pier she used to train from calm water. Cold air, stars bright above her. She ran her fingers over the scars on her legs and whispered, "You carried me farther than I thought you could. Because courage isn't. It's walking tall. It's crawling when you can't. And victory doesn't always roar. Sometimes it drags itself across the dirt and keeps breathing. Because strength, isn't the absence of pain, it's the will to move through it." If Kara's story inspired you, tell me your thoughts in the comments. And if you believe real strength isn't about perfection, but perseverance, hit that subscribe button. Every story here reminds us that even when we're broken, we can still rise.